Hello, everybody. This is Heinrich back with another Sunday serving, words of hope and truth from the gospel. Hope. Why do we keep harping on that? Well, it's pretty obvious that we need an infusion of hope to give energy for a positive change of heart in our country and in our world. You know, there's so much worry, division, mistrust, hatred, violence, of course sickness, and all that brings stress, and everybody's dealing with this every day. We're divided into groups and camps that can't even listen or talk with each other, much less agree with people who think differently, believe differently, or look differently. It seems like everything is conspiring to divide us. Our backgrounds divide us. Our beliefs divide us. Our politics certainly divide us. Our economic circumstances divide us. And the viral epidemic and how to deal with it divides us. And now, surprise, even our president and first lady are sick with the dreaded disease. We need to pray for them, hope for them, and pray and hope for everybody suffering from all these ills. But do we just hope for hope and change? Or do we have a responsibility to work for hope or a cure for all of this? And where does it come from? Well, listen to this story from the Gospel of John, chapter 5. So chapter 5, about the healing at the pool. Sometime later, Jesus went up to Jerusalem for a feast of the Jews. Now there is in Jerusalem, near the sheep gate, a pool, which in Aramaic is called Bethesda, and which is surrounded by 5 covered colonnades. Here, a great number of disabled people used to lie: the blind, the lame, and the paralyzed. One who had been there as an invalid for 38 years. Imagine that. So this man had been disabled and probably was an outcast from society for 38 years. I can imagine he was probably at the state of being hopeless for any change or improvement of his situation. He must have resigned himself to his sorry life, and nobody was around to give him hope or to help him. He was probably, for his day, institutionalized and forgotten. Well, it goes on here. When Jesus saw him lying there and learned that he had been in this condition for a long time, he asked him, "Do you want to get well?" Wow, that's a powerful question. Do you want to get well? That is an important question. That is the question for today. Do you want to get well? Do we want to get well? You know, it seems so obvious, but I think too often we don't want to get well. We accept negativity and our sickness of heart. Jesus can help us, but he first asks this important question: do you want to get well? Let's go on here. "Sir," the invalid replied, "I have no one to help me into the pool when the water is stirred. While I am trying to get in, someone else goes down ahead of me." So it is said that back in the day of Jesus at this pool, Bethesda, that occasionally an angel would come and stir the water at the pool. And this was a pool of healing. And then the first person that would enter the pool would be healed. So imagine the frustration and the despair of this man who had tried in vain for a chance to get this miracle of healing for 38 years. Let's go on here. Then Jesus said to him, "Get up, pick up your mat, and walk." At once the man was cured. He picked up his mat and walked. Look how simple it is. Hope is simple. Simple works. You know, there's only 3 ingredients to this miracle. One, the most important one, can only come from Jesus. Jesus gives the command and the power of healing. Jesus and God. The other 2 ingredients, we, the invalid, have to provide for ourselves. and that is the will to be well and the obedience to Jesus' instructions. The story goes on about how this took place on the Sabbath, which is important to the Jewish people and their laws. The day on which this took place was the Sabbath. And so the Jews said to the man who had been healed, "It is the Sabbath. The law forbids you to carry your mat." But he replied, "The man who made me well said to me, 'Pick up your mat and walk.'" So they asked him, "Who is this fellow who told you to pick up your mat and walk?" The man who was healed had no idea who it was, for Jesus had slipped away into the crowd that was there. Later, Jesus found him at the temple and said to him, "See, you are well again. Stop sinning, or something worse may happen to you." The man went away and told the Jews that it was Jesus who had made him well. Now, this is an important point for all of us. When we want to be well, and when we are made well, and turn to Jesus for hope and for healing, then we need to stop sinning. What does that mean? Well, we need to change what we were doing. Stop hurting others. Stop living in mistrust and negativity or despair and selfishness. We need to keep wanting to be well and to listen to Jesus when he tells us what to do. So the last part of this story is also important. So because Jesus was doing these things on the Sabbath, the Jews persecuted him. Jesus said this to them. This is important. "My Father is always at his work to this very day, and I too am working." I too am working. Those last words are true now, today, and this is what keeps hope alive. Jesus and God are always at work, healing, giving hope, and stirring the waters. Step into that water and help someone else who needs hope and healing. Decide to be well, pick up your mat and walk. God bless you, and thank you for watching.